Alright guys, day one on the Fordson Dexta tractor, diesel. It's got the Perkins 3-cylinder. So, as some of you know who might have watched a future or a past video, I lost power in first gear. Not all the time, just sometimes. And also, after I did some work on the fuel injector pump, it idles way too high. So, what I'm gonna do, and this is my plan, because a lot of the gaskets up here, up front, are bad anyway. So I'm removing the radiator, and it's pretty bad. It doesn't leak though, but I just want to have a look at it, see the state of the radiator. That's nasty. So I'm removing the radiator. All the hoses are bad, so the goal might be to replace radiator, hoses. I took this air cleaner off. I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know that you're gonna see in there. It's like a milky, definitely a mix of water and oil and dirt. And so, just things I've never done. I'm gonna pull the canister out, clean it. You can see that I got a hose that's duct tape. Probably just replace this hose. This is the line that goes over to the governor. I'm just gonna take it off, check it, make sure it is clean. But I believe my problem, and thanks to one of my fellow viewers in England, very appreciative of him for leaving some comments, but I agree, I think, with what he's saying, and he had this problem with the idle. The problem, oh, and also, let's see, I'm trying to get it straight. I know that when I put my, because I rebuilt this, and when I put the other diaphragm in there, this closed up real easy. But I've never had this gap close up, so I don't know if that's affecting it. Long story short, this is coming back on. This is all getting rebuilt. When I put this back together, there's a gasket in, I believe here, that I didn't bother to change, so now it spews out engine oil. But also when I put this on, I believe I was on the right tooth, on the flywheel tooth. But it's really hard to know for sure unless you take this whole front plate off. There's a bunch of timing marks on a bunch of different wheels in there. So gonna get the radiator off, gonna get the water pump off, the fan. That pulley's probably gonna be the biggest challenge, I assume. But I'm gonna basically, I don't think I'm gonna rehaul this whole thing, but I am gonna tear into it a bit. I am gonna flush out the oil system, drop the oil pan. I just want to give the motor a really good clean and new gaskets. I've got some wicked oil leaks. Another problem for another day. What I want to do is work from this point forward, engine forward, and really address that. And I think that's gonna have to do with just tearing it down, cleaning it, and putting new gaskets. I'm also gonna pull one of these injectors out so that I can just go to the store and find out what thread, because I can buy an injector tester that you use to set them and test them, but I just want to confirm. I can buy one for $80 some, but I want to confirm that this thread in here will work, or I can at least make something, you know, to cobble it together and work. So I just want to breathe some new light into this thing. Once I look into here, I'd like to get a new gasket for here as well. Once I look into here, I don't know. Maybe I take it down, have a look at the heads, put a new head gasket. I have no indication that it's leaking. It smokes a bit, but I don't think that it's not that type of smoke. Also, my viewer from England was saying that they sell a new one of these manifolds that it's made for, you know how they got the hole up here in the hood, it's made for bringing your exhaust up. So I do want to go ahead and do that, and that's more for the case of I actually really don't know, other than this thing throws a lot of sparks underneath, and in the grass and hay, that's not really good. I know I can get a spark arrestor, but I just assume they fly up. So this is day one. This is teardown. I don't believe inside my gas tank is dirty, but if it is, now's going to be the time to address that. Also, what I'd like to do, get these off for, is maybe pull this tray out, clean it up, and just hit some of this with some primer. Maybe in this whole cavity in here, hit it with some primer and just blue paint. I'm not doing a restoration, but just want to breathe a little more light into this thing. So yeah, tear down. We're gonna remove that whole injector pump, rebuild it if we have to. So I know those pumps are expensive, so I really don't want to have, just the diaphragm for in here was $50-some. So I don't know, but we don't have snow yet, but I'm hoping that there's a chance I can have this ready for snow. Also, I bought a I wonder if I can find it. Yes, I can. I'll show you guys. From this company. I've actually had this for a long time, just never installed it. But it's a block heater. I'll hone in on that number. And it fits this tractor. So we're gonna go ahead and install that. I've been using starter fluid, but I feel pretty bad about that. It's not really good for these. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, people have been having to put their block heater, is it in that plug? It might be in that plug on the starter side. Let me confirm that. Yeah, because you can't really get in on this side. So, all right, guys. I'm going to try to film. I'm going to try to sort some better lighting out too. But I'm going to try to film this as a series. For any of you that have the problem of either an incredibly high idle and not fixed by changing that, or a loss of power in first gear. So we're gonna go move forward, see what we can't do with this thing. I don't know how well that's gonna show up, but and there's my thermostat. It is a damn mess in there. So already in my head, guys, I'm coming up with a new parts list real quick. For the bolts I know I'm gonna take off too, I'm hitting with a little bit of PB. Good stuff right there. I already hit those. Those I've already had off on the cover. I've had all those bolts off. I'm gonna have to look at this. I know in my manual, there's a special tool available. I have no clue. I'm really gonna have to think about how to get that off. I'm not even sure that's gonna do much good, but oh, let's get those. There. That might be all of it. That's looking like it wants some. That should probably do it for now. So to show you guys this. Pop it out. Boy, it's in there. that is in there. Probably no getting that out in one piece, but I don't think we're going to reuse it. Let me get a screwdriver. It's different than anything I've ever seen. A lot of scaly stuff right around this area. Who knows? Maybe it was functional, but I never reuse thermostats, so just a rule. I've actually never worked on a tractor, so bear with me. Like this thing in here. Is that some sort of temp sensor? Don't know. Well, we'll continue. Man, I really wished I had a good light. This really doesn't do it justice. This is just absolutely full of crap in there. This is my water pump. That'll need a cleaning. Alright guys, got a little bit of a light here. Got all that air in the intake, all this side off. Not too bad in there. This looks fairly dirty, if I do say so myself. Probably what I'm going to do is take the head off, wash it up real good. Just check everything. So I think definitely that head's gonna come off. Moving around to the front. Definitely I need to do some cleaning in the water jackets, the whole system. So next I'm probably gonna tear off this side again, the exhaust manifold, and all that fuel injection stuff. This whole side, basically. And then I'm gonna have to look and do some research on how I'm gonna get that off. I'm sure I could fumble and figure it out, but I'm wondering if there's an easier way than doing it that way. But so far I'm looking at new gaskets. I'm looking at a new radiator. I was looking at that radiator closely, and it's got it was actually repaired, but a lot of the tubes that go up vertical up and down, somebody just soldered them off, so it's not even really getting complete flow through that radiator. So, and of course a new thermostat down there, we'll get one of those. I don't know, a new belt for sure. And a lot of this wiring is pretty brittle, so I'm probably going to rewire most, if not all of it. New hoses. All the hoses are brittle and cracked. We are going to go ahead while we're at it and... Ooh, there's a plate down here. I've never actually looked down here. Seems to be a plate. I have no clue what that is. Oil filter? I don't know. But we'll be removing it just to do, if nothing else, a thorough clean. So I'm hoping not to rebuild the motor. I don't think the motor's a problem, but it sure could use an oil change and a really good clean. And some rewiring. So that is as far as I got day one. Unfortunately, I've got to go. Daughter has something at school that I got to go to. Otherwise, I'd stay here, rip this side off, and get the head off. I'm pretty excited to see what my cylinders look like. So, but yeah, getting that front wheel off is gonna, that's gonna be the big one. And I think that this might be like a temp sensor. You can see all the rust, or kind of a white corrosion buildup on the tip there. But it should be all right. So this is, I don't even call it day one. I've only torn into it about an hour. So guys, if you want to follow this project, if nothing else, I'm sure most of you watching know more about these tractors than I do. Best I can tell, it's a 58, 59 Fordson dexta, Perkins 3-cylinder diesel. So I'd appreciate it if a lot of you, or even just a few of you, kind of followed and give me some pointers. A lot of you probably ran into issues or have already been through this. Also, I discovered, I don't know if it's going to show up, you can see a little bit of orange down there. I know I shouldn't have turned my light off yet, but I know that these things originally had orange rims, so I was curious as to why mine were white. But I am thinking about, because they're rusting real bad, and I don't want to start losing the beads, so I'm thinking about taking the wheels off, the tires, taking them to Les Schwab, having the tires removed, sandblasting, priming, and painting them back to their original orange. So let me know what you think. White, paint them white again, or go with the original orange. Alright guys, that's it.